Now, as far as the topic, you read the title correctly. So we got a military wife and she is on camera. I'm gonna give you the very beginning of it and maybe a little gem at the end so you're not totally lost. But there's a dispute between a couple and they're both in active duty members of the military, and there are some issues that they've been having in their marriage, and I guess it came to a head, right? And it got kind of drastic. So that's all I'm willing to tell you. We're going to go ahead and start the video and do our commentary. So definitely, please feel free to comment in the chat. Just chime in because we would love to hear other people's viewpoints, their thoughts, whatever that entails. It's better in numbers, in my opinion. So,
yes, I think that's a good idea, Mr. Kimi. Let them go ahead, do some chatting. Y'all tip in that comment section, and you guys are going to see more videos coming from me and Mr. Kimi like this. Okay, I'm on mute.
That part. Let's roll, sis.
Nothing that you can do. Nothing.
On January 9th, 2023, a distressed man arrived at the police station to report a domestic disturbance at his home. He was eager to share his story with law enforcement, seeking assistance with the situation he had experienced.
Hello.
Yeah,
Good, how are you? Did you call?
I didn't call anybody, but I talked to her.
Right. What happened?
So, my name is, can I tell you?
Yeah.
My name is Nate. I was in, I don't know if you remember that area. So this morning, I have an incident with my wife. I'm in the military, I'm staff sergeant, and I already talked to the MPs and I talked to my leadership, my first line supervisor, about the incident that happened this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much, my wife and I were going through some disagreements right now, and she was hitting me.
Okay.
I know. I'm here because I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm kind of worried about the consequences. So I don't want to lose my career or put myself in a position where my career is going to be jeopardized. I already talked to my first line too, and he said that.
I think that's a good place to stop. Because I'm already seeing some flags jumping off. What about you, Laverne?
Yes, indeed. There's red flags everywhere. First of all, he comes into a police station and he says that he don't want to get his wife in trouble because she's in the military. If that's truly the case, why are you there, sir? Okay. So what's changed? That's one of those red flags, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm wondering where is she right now? Let's just figure out what's going on with her. But we're gonna listen to his story and see what he got to say.
Yes, we definitely are. I know that the one red flag that resonated with me loudly the first time was when he made the statement, "I know what I want to do." He
Which
said,
means,
if,
yeah.
if you listen, he's telling you exactly what his intentions are.
He also know the consequences by him being in the military himself, what the consequences are going to be for his wife. That's another thing to note, right?
Yes, absolutely, amongst others. But let's go ahead and let's hear him out because he is there to tell his story.
That he can put me in a barrack room and all this stuff, which is what I'm trying to avoid. When I talked to the MP, they told me the same thing. Even if I'm a victim, they pretty much the law favor the spouse. In this case, I don't know if you're familiar with that part. So what I'm hearing is just, we started through the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Result of that, she was at the house. She came home yesterday she's in the reserve, so she came home yesterday from South Carolina. I wasn't talking to her. I cleaned the whole house and minding my own business. And this morning, I was getting ready to take my kids to daycare on post.
As he spoke with the officer, he revealed that his girlfriend, whom he also referred to as his wife, had physically assaulted him. This was a shocking claim, and the officer listened carefully as the man shared his side of the story. The situation became even more concerning when the man showed the officer video footage on his mobile phone, which he claimed would support his version of the events. The video was difficult to watch, but confirmed the man's claim. The footage showed disturbing moments of the altercation, leaving no doubt about the severity of the situation.
And both of them, and I put them all in the car, and I guess she was thinking that we were cool. She was like, I was going to the gym in the afternoon, and I didn't tell her anything, so she kind of like went away inside the house and closed the garage. So I was just getting ready to leave, and she opened the garage back and started talking to me, arguing, and then she started pushing me and in the face, and then she started gaslighting me. And maybe I was saying things like, gaslighting her too.
Like what?
Like ignoring her because I wasn't talking to her about what she was asking about.
So I'm wondering if that was the only way he was gaslighting her.
Yeah, because we don't know what happened inside of the house before he came outside to prepare to take the children to the daycare on post, the military post base, right? So he could have triggered her inside of the house, also knowing that the cameras were outside of the house and that he could have some kind of alibi or some kind of cover to protect him, you know?
Yes.
That's crazy. And then plus her pushing on him. First of all, listen, you that was unnecessary. You don't have to put your hands on anyone. She could have handled that part right there in a better way. And I'm sure she knew those cameras were there as well, right?
Yes. Absolutely. There are so many different components to this, but one thing I think that we can assess for sure and for certainty is that they are both at a breaking point, one way or the other. So whatever has been going on has, in my opinion, kind of sent them both over the edge, right? To both of them are doing things and responding in what is more of an extreme level than what they're used to responding it with. So there's
Yeah.
definitely a plateau with all of this, but no, I there's on both sides. There's definitely a lot of things that could have been done differently.
And then one thing I want to add too is just imagine the argument they had inside of the house with the children present,
That
right?
part.
They heard most of that inside of the house before it spilled over outside of the house. And then we want to wonder how long have they been arguing? You know what I'm saying? So that's traumatizing for children, you know. I just want to add that piece and I'm on
And we
mute.
can't measure how much trauma the child experiences because, first of all, at those ages, they're more nonverbal communicative. So they don't know how to express themselves,
And
right? But
yes,
then and even if so, we still can't imagine the degree of the PTSD that people go through, or the after effects of trauma that they go through in order to just cope and deal. So it definitely, we as parents, we got to do better. If things aren't going well, that you cannot, and then you got to think of the energy. So you got the words, you got the behavior, you got all of the external things going on, and then you got energy is transferred. The children, the babies came from y'all, so they're going to pick up on things that are going on in the home, whether you verbalize it or not.
right, 100%. And also, children look up to their parents as being their gods because we introduce them to spirituality amongst other things, how to put their shoes on, how to eat, how to walk, how to talk, how to behave with one another. And if you can't show love to one another, mom and dad, how can you show love to the children? So you're teaching them how to love as well. And they watch what you do, not what you say. I'm on mute.
That part. That's a mic drop. Let's continue.
She was like, I got it on video, but I'm not gonna show you until we find on something. Then I was just,
What do you have on video?
I'm sure I don't know if you've been to this before or just I don't want to like mess up her career or like right now. So right now she's at work and she did like I said she think that I'm bluffing about it, but I was telling her like I'm not gonna keep sponsoring the behavior that you're doing, which is pretty much right now out of social media. She's been talking to other guys, but being married to me, and the reason why we went to social work before we've been through it because while I was employed, she was cheating on me. So
For 1 second, sis, hold it right there.
Can you turn it sideways? So it's bigger? Thank
Okay, I just want to say something. He says that she is communicating with other men on social media. She's a married woman, right? She's in the military, she's in the reserves, meaning that she's not full time active duty. Okay, that's a red flag. Once you are married, you are not supposed to, ladies and gentlemen, have these new friends, opposite sex friends. That is a problem in itself. That's not cool, right? And there lies trust issues. Okay.
Absolutely. There is a way to behave. There is a way to conduct yourself as a wife. You cannot move as if you are single. You cannot move to entertain the energy or the interaction of a man outside of your husband. You're inviting problems and you're inviting the emotion of distrust in the relationship. Once you lose trust in a relationship, it goes downhill fast, right?
And that's right. You're exactly right. And here's another thing too. Why would a woman want to speak or have friendships with other men other than their husband? Okay? Because you have to think about this thing. Men are chasers. They are conquerors. They are looking for women. They're looking for the vagina. Let's be real. So why you need to be having these male friends? The husband that you marry should be sustainable and enough for you. If not, don't get married because that's a no-no.
Period. That's it. Let's go.
There's a couple of them. So this is the first one that I got. Like, it was,
You can't just make it easy. Why do you have to be so difficult? Why do you have to be so difficult? I'm not. It can be easy for everybody. You just want to make my life miserable because you have this persona in your head, thinking that I'm cheating on everybody. And if I am, I'd like to see proof. Because there's nothing. There's nothing.
Just like I said, once you lose the ability to trust one another, everything is up to question. Nothing is certain. There is no level of I'm going to rely and put stock and trust in everything that you're saying. And so that becomes the issue. What you think, sis?
I think you're 100% correct. And here's the thing. When I say that women shouldn't have male friends once they're married, I'm saying that if, only if, the husband that you're marrying, if he knew the male friends or know the male friends that you had before him, and he's okay with you still keeping that relationship, he's cool with it, then that's one thing. But now we're talking about these new men that's introduced to her in her life that are friends with her on social media, in her DMs, and all of these things, telling her, blowing her head up or whatever. Look, that's a no-no. That shouldn't be happening on either end, even if it was vice versa, right? So that's where the conflict is, and she knows that. And if there's no problem, then why are you arguing with your husband? Why don't you just say, okay, baby, I understand how you're feeling, and delete those people and get them out of your life? That tells me, sis, that you have other motives and other plans, and you like this thing or this attention that you're getting from these other men. Okay? I'm on mute.
Yeah. Mic drop.
Thing. There's nothing. And that's what's funny. I'm not intimidated by you anymore. I'm not scared by you. There's nothing that you can do to intimidate me. Nothing. You think that you can just ignore me when I'm trying to talk to you about my kids? Huh? I'm not afraid of you. I'm sick of you always trying to intimidate me. I'm not afraid
Hold
of
on,
you.
sis.
I'm not afraid of you.
Okay, so she's saying that she's not afraid of him. She's not intimidated by him. She's making a big deal of the situation. So, what is driving you to, project physical harm on the man that you love, the father of your children, in defense of having these strangers or these strange men that he don't know anything about in your life? That's telling me that something, those guys mean something to you somewhere. That's what it says to me.
Yes. The first scene that came to my mind also, too, sis, was that she has this been the first time that she's put hands on him. It to me, that will also tell a part of the story, as is this something that's been progressing? Does he really have that kind of restraint, or is it a motive to restrain himself? Because now this is an opportunity for you to change the situation.
Yes, sis, and I'm gonna tell you what the motive is. Okay, okay, since you know that my husband was in the military, and I know all about that military being the spouse and all that life. Okay, first of all, in the army, if the man put his hands on a woman, he could be his rank could be he could be demoted. Meaning that if he was a sergeant or higher or anything else, he could be demoted to a private. So that means it'll take away his livelihood if he's or in fault or caught putting his hands on his wife, right? So he knows that. So this man do not want to blow his career, his military career, by doing anything, and she knows that, and she's using that to her advantage. But nevertheless, she too is in the military, and the same could happen to her. You
That part.
understand? Right?
That
You
part.
see?
So it could be safe to say that is actually a bit of both, right? More so
Yes.
wanting to preserve his career, but also that would be a motive for you to not respond or react, whether it was the first time, the third time, the fifth time, etc.
100%. And one more thing I want to add. I'm looking at the housing that they're living in. If they are living on a military base or a post on military, that's military housing, then the channels that that gentleman would have went to would have been through the military. They would have handled it. But I noticed that when this video first started, he was at a neutral police station. That tells me that he lives off base, which means off the military post, meaning that the military don't have anything to do with this so-called uh, spousal problem because it's off post. But if it was on post, that both of them would be before a board going over their relationship and what's going on. It'll be a bigger issue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great observation. Great. I'm telling you,
Thank you, Shirley.
you know. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Let's go, y'all.
So you coming us into the next relationship?
She's right.
Who?
My wife.
Where is he?
The white car.
To the truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm sure she can tell that she's texting me in front of me.
Okay.
And she,
Does she know you're here?
yeah, because she's seen my location. Well,
Okay. Stay in here for just a minute, okay?
So I just want to, don't want to belabor the point, but I just want to reiterate that, it says she's outside the police station. They share each other's locations, so they know where each one goes at all times, which I think is, I don't know, I'm conflicted about that because I could look at it through the lens of safety. But as far as like if the motive is control, or if it's something that where you're monitoring everything that I'm doing because of the lack of trust in the relationship, I'm gonna feel some type of way about that. But
I feel you on that, Shirley, because I would too. You don't monitor your spouse's every move. That's totally unnecessary. All you got to do is pick up the phone and say, "Honey, I'm going out. Me and the kids, we're gonna be at point A, B, C, or D. I'm not. Just let them know where you are. It's nothing wrong with telling somebody that you're safe, or what your location is, especially if you have two working people with different schedules. People just want to keep tabs in that way, but as far as tracking a person that it removed, that's simply ridiculous, in my opinion. That's a trust issue for real.
absolutely. Okay, let's go ahead. If there's nothing further, let's proceed.
25. Can I get another? Let's see, I've got the other party showing up here at headquarters. 25. Hello. you Kelly?
Yes.
Can I talk to you for just a minute?
When the officer arrived at the property, he saw a woman trying to leave. Her behavior immediately raised suspicion. She seemed in a hurry to leave the scene, which seemed strange given the circumstances. The officer stopped her and asked if she had anything to do with the disturbance. The woman denied any involvement in a crime. She began to offer her version of the story, but her response felt off to the officer. It seemed like she was trying to avoid responsibility for what had happened. The woman then tried to deflect blame by giving conflicting statements. She changed her story several times, seemingly trying to confuse the officer.
So it appears as if she's already trying to get ahead of this thing so they don't have to come and seek her out, because I'm sure her heart dropped when she realized that her husband was at the police station and y'all got all these cameras around the house and you've been the aggressor, and now you want to throw a temper tantrum, put your hands on your man, and now you got to explain yourself, because now the lack of emotional intelligence and responding that you just did actually could cost you your career, and you in the reserves, you just fresh getting ready to transition, and this is what you dealing with. What you think?
Right. That's true. And I want to go back 1 second to say, when it comes to sharing of locations, there's nothing wrong with sharing locations, especially if you have a spouse working like a night shift or something like that. A woman, like say the mom worked night shift or odd hours. There's nothing wrong with having a tracker or sharing locations on her vehicle or stuff like that. But other than that, that's null and void. That's just overkill. And then going back to what just happened here, she seems to be scared because why would she leave, and not just take the time to speak to, like in a hurry? They say she was in a hurry. And the next thing that usually follows is when a woman starts to cry, they want to gain sympathy because they feel and they know that they're in the wrong. The tears start to fall. Let's watch.
And it's hard to, I just want to add this too, though. It's like a lot of women use tears and crying as a form of manipulation. So I just want to throw
Exactly.
that in.
Exactly. 100%.
Okay.
Thanks, Mr. Kimmy. I'm going to holler at you later, Shirley.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, sis. Peace and blessings, and appreciate you and your perspective.
Likewise.
Okay. All right, y'all. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Appreciate your presence. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Hit that like button on your way out, and we will see you on the next round. Peace.